Welcome to the latest market update. This information just came out last night and you're the first to see it. This is going to be the November 2022 update. And if you don't know, I am Maciek and I'm your realtor. Let's get into this. And by the way, if you want to get on a 30-minute call with me to talk about anything real estate, from rentals to buying or selling or investing, please use the Calendly link below and you can just book a session. It'll be instantly confirmed and then I will call you for that phone call. All right, so what happened in the real estate market for Sarasota County and Manatee County? And by the way, Charlotte County is very, very similar. We're going to be talking about 5 different metrics. So let's get started. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that when they report these numbers, they're always going to give you the year-on-year comparison, meaning November 2022 to November 2021. And I don't feel that is very relevant information. I think it's much more important to see what's happening month to month. So I'm going to dissect this down. What happened in October? What happened in November 2022? Okay, the first metric is total closed sales in our entire MLS area, which does cover Sarasota and Manatee County. Now in October 2022, we had 1,542 total sales. That's condos, lots, single family homes, you name it. What happened in November? We had a total of 1,252 sales. That's a pretty dramatic decrease, not looking really good, but they are kind of saying that it's a little bit involved with what happened with Hurricane Ian. Even though Hurricane Ian was September 27th and 28th, that actually rolled over into some of the people that were looking at buying. So there less things went under contract and therefore we had less closings. So as a whole, we had a 23% decline in the total number of sales from October to November. But when you look at the bigger statistic from year to year, which I don't really like to do too much, it's even worse than that. A total of 41.5% less sales than November 2021, which was a crazy time, by the way. Okay, the second statistic is our median sales price. Now keep in mind, this is not the average. They don't take all the sales prices, add them up, and then divide by how many sales we had. It's the median, it's the one that's right in the middle. So all the outliers of the $25 million homes and then the $100,000 single family home, all of that is kind of on the sidelines, and we're just looking right in the middle, which is a great indicator of kind of what's happening with our pricing. So single family homes in Sarasota County in October was over $537,000. November, $499,000. That's actually a decrease of 7.7%. Now for Sarasota County condos, the median sales price in October was at over $386,000. What was it in November? Unfortunately, $345,000. So that's a decrease of 12%. Now, does that mean that prices fell 12%? That means that the median price month over month from October to November decreased by 12%. Now let's look at Manatee County. For the single family homes in Manatee County for October, the median sales price was over $549,000. What happened in November? Ooh, 506 and some change. That's actually a decrease of 8.4%. Is that good? Is that bad? Oh, it depends if you're the buyer or the seller and if you actually need to sell. And lastly, let's talk about the condos in Manatee County. So the condo market went from October over $386,000 median price, and that dropped to $358,000. Now, thankfully, this was only 8% down. And like I said, it doesn't really mean that your price of the value of your condo went down. It just means that the median sales price went down from October to November. Lots of reasons for that happening. Now, if you actually read the report, which is available to you if you want to download that, or just message me and I'll send you a copy, it praises all the numbers. But let me tell you, it's not really fair. They're showing that we had this giant increase, but that's year over year, that the median sales price went up year over year. Well, Of course it did. Don't you see what happened in the market? The market went ballistic. We had really, really low interest rates. Now we're in our 7% interest rates. So obviously we're gonna have a different in pricing that changed from back then to now. So it is not all that great. Now, but let's move on to our third metric, and that is the inventory on the market. Basically, how many homes and condos are actually for sale. Once again, we're going to break this down to Sarasota County and Manatee County, and then each one single family homes and condos. So let's start with Sarasota County single family homes. In October, we had a total of 2.2 months of inventory, which is a relatively low number, actually, historically speaking. And in November, we went up to 2.4 months. That ends up being 9.1% more inventory, more homes for sale in Sarasota County for all you buyers out there. If you weren't able to find what you're looking for, well, you got 9.1% more homes to look at now. And if you're a condo buyer in Sarasota County, October showed 1.8 months worth of inventory, actually less condos for sale than single family homes. But in the condo market for November, we jumped up to 2.1%. That is a 16.7% increase. Pretty significant, actually. So if you're thinking about buying a condo in Sarasota County, you have a lot more options this time around for this month. And now let's talk about Manatee County single family homes. October showed a total of 2.8 months. So it's actually more than Sarasota County has. And now we're at 3.0. So we went up 7.1% more inventory. And a similar story for our condo market in Manatee County. It used to be 2.3 months. Now it is 2.7, and we increased 17.4% on the condo market. So we actually have less condos for sale than we do single family homes in both markets, but we're increasing a lot faster in the condo supply than the single family home supply. And in case you don't know, a happy equilibrium is about 5.5 to 6 months. In that kind of market, which I do believe we're going to get to, we're pretty much at that place where there's no upper hand for a seller or a buyer. When we have the 6-month inventory supply, it's pretty fair for both parties, which is great for everyone because it's very reasonable, nothing gets greedy, and overall, everyone feels like they won in the transaction. No one feels like they got taken advantage of. Okay, our fourth metric talks about days on the market. So that's how long will your home list and sit on the market before it goes under contract, on average, of course. This statistic actually is really good. So we are seeing only 20 days average days on the market for the single family homes in Sarasota County. That is really short if you think about it. 20 days, you list it today, 20 days later, you're under contract. Well, that was October. November, we're 23 days. So we only bumped up 15% more, but it's only 3 days, right? So it's really not that big of a difference, where October and November are very, very similar. Once we start sitting on the market, 90, 120 days, 160 days, well, that's where, you start feeling a little bit of pain as a seller. But what's really surprising is what happened with the condos. The condo market in Sarasota in October was 28 days, and in November, 13. So it looks like a lot of condos were just picked up and sold really quickly. Either that or they were just priced really well, and maybe there were just more condo buyers. So that actually went down very, very quickly, and we're pretty happy about that. Less than half of the time that it used to take. Now, Manatee County single family homes, October was 24 days, November was 29 days. That's just an increase of 20%. It sounds like a big increase, but it's just a few days, really, 5 days. What does that matter? Not much to the typical seller. What happened in the condo market in Manatee County? Went from 22 days to 18 days. Once again, went down 4 days. That's really good. Not sure what happened with the condo demand, but something happened where they just sat less on the market. Now the last statistic that we'll be looking at is the total active inventory at the end of the month, at the end of November and at the end of October. So what happened with our inventory? Are there more homes for sale or less homes for sale? Well, you probably guessed it. There are more homes for sale. In October, in our whole market, we went from 4,568 properties for sale to 4,839. That's an increase of only 5.9%. Personally, I was expecting a lot more of a number. I was expecting double digits on this increase. But thankfully, we are just slowly coming to an equilibrium. It's much better to have a slow, gradual progression of inventory than it is to have a giant spike, or the other way around, a giant spike down, which is what we experienced about a year and a half ago. And that is what happened in our real estate market from October to November 2022. I am Maciek1. My number is 941-888-SOLD. Please call me on that number if you have any questions, or if you want to schedule a time to talk to me for 30 minutes, you can book a call in the Calendly link below, and I'll be glad to spend 30 minutes talking about anything real estate, about your questions. So if you also could please subscribe to this channel if you want to get these kinds of updates, or if you're interested generally what's happening in the real estate market in Sarasota and Manatee counties. My name is Maciek. Thank you for watching.